Hey, what's up, everybody? It is TMQB, week 13, December 8th, 2010, and lots of you are going home. Another OFFL regular season has come to a close, and playoffs start for 6 teams. It's a tight year for playoff spots this year. No team really ran away with it. Closest team we had to a runaway was Hoagie, who posted 10 victories, league high. Steel Curtain Winehouse were right behind with 9 victories each. So before we get to the results of this week's games, let's talk about the playoff picture. Hoagie's Heroes at 10-3 claims the Atlantic Division and the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Steel Curtain takes the Pacific Division with a 9-4 record. Ended the season tied with Wine at Us, but the tiebreaker was the head-to-head matchups, and Steel Curtain swept. So he gets the Atlantic Division. I'm sorry, he gets the Pacific Division and the number 2 seed. So both Hoagie and Steel have buys this first week of the playoffs. TNT tied atop the Northeast Division with the Panzers. Actually wins the division based on division record. The two teams split their head-to-head games, but TNT's 5-1 division record gives them the nod. So TNT will be the number 3 seed. Next 2 spots in the tournament by way of record go to Wine at Us, who finished, as I mentioned, with a 9-4 record. And Panzers, who were 7-6. So Wine at Us is going to be the number 4 seed, and number 5 seed is Panzers. Final playoff spot was between 4 teams with losing records of 6-7. Last year was easy. Everything fell into place, no calculations. This year was back to the way it's been for most of my time that I've been commissioner. 4 teams: Intimidators, Poor Pickens, Cleveland Steamers, and shocker for me, Silent Death. He made a tremendous run at the end of the season, winning 4 in a row to become a player in this playoff picture. So, with all that said, and I know all of you on the edge of your seats with suspense, final playoff spot goes to the Intimidators. Based on tiebreaker rules as follows. First tiebreak rule with 3 or more teams is to break any ties with teams in the same division. That would be Steamers, Cleveland Steamers, and Silent Death. So based on tiebreakers, it goes to Cleveland Steamers, which is based on the 3rd tiebreaker. First tiebreaker head-to-head, which they split. Division record, they were tied at 4-2. Last tiebreaker, common game winning percentage, Steamers got the edge. Then breaking the tie for the last spot between Intimidators and Poor Pickens. Between Intimidators, Poor Pickens, and Cleveland Steamers goes to Daters based on head-to-head wins versus both Poor Pickens and Steamers. So there you have it. Daters is your 6th seed. We'll talk a little bit about the playoffs a little bit. As for the first pick in next year's draft, it was a 3-team battle: Guru, Storm Brigade, and the Fury. And after holding the lead for the first pick in the draft for most of the season, Guru actually winds up with the 3rd pick. Number 1 pick goes to the Fury. Storm picking 2nd. This was based on tiebreaker of worst winning percentage, common opponents. And, I'm a little unsure about how to handle this going forward. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything about it this year. Fury's going to get the number 1 pick, but I'm thinking about bringing up a vote at the draft for a rule change. I know we had issues in this league when I first joined, and before Bobby and I took over. That's why we had a lottery for round 1. To keep teams from throwing their seasons and to get that first pick overall. This year, Fury played the last 3 games of the year without a kicker. Intentional or not, he didn't really make an effort to put in the best lineup, knowing he was out of the playoff race, and he didn't pick up a kicker. I'm not saying he didn't put his lineup in. He did. He made some changes, but he obviously figured it wasn't worth the transaction fee because he was out of the playoff run to pick up another kicker. And as I've stated in the past, I want guys playing hard till the end of the year. So if you guys have any thoughts on how to handle this, I'd appreciate your input. Maybe in the comment section down below. That would be greatly appreciated. But overall, good season for everyone. Death, you made a good run. I had you counted out weeks ago, but you put that late 4-game winning streak together and got you in the playoff runs. Good job. Just came up a little short, and I guess we'll get to the matchups for week 1 of the playoffs. TNT versus the Intimidators, and Why Not Us versus Panzers. It'll be a quick turnaround for TNT Intimidators that they just played this week, with TNT winning. TNT swept this season series and goes for the third win in one season. I didn't break down how hard that is to do. I know they say it's tough to sweep 3 games in one season, but that's like in the real games, not in fantasy. So I know the Daters are nervous. I have it on good authority that Daters are nervous about rumors coming out of Denver, the new Broncos head coach, and talk of Tebow having a more role at quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects Daters going through this playoff run if he gets past TNT. Last 2 times these 2 teams met in the playoffs was in 2005 in the championship game, and TNT with Roger as the owner at that time won the Gray Spike 56-31. So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. Why Not Us and Panzers, they did not face off this year. Combined, these 2 have won the last 4 championships, so it's an interesting matchup. So one of the 2 past champions will make it into the next round. Last year, Why Not Us swept the 2 games, 70-51 and 64-34. And the last time these 2 teams met in the playoffs was a good battle, actually. It was a 24-24 tie. And the tiebreaker went to Why Not Us by a mere 2 yards. As we break ties with our quarterback yardage. And so Why Not Us's quarterback at the time, Peyton Manning, threw for 276 yards, while Panzers' Matt Hasselbeck threw for 274 yards. So that was the margin of victory, 2 yards. And then, of course, Why Not Us went on to win the championship. All right, so let's review the games from this week. Game of the week was a little tough. Lots of big games this weekend with some playoff implications. But I'm going to go with the Guru and Panzers, with Guru winning 46-33. The reason I say this is I don't know that Guru's had many games of the week, and this week he deserved it, because this loss cost Panzers the division, and he still would have been playing this week, wouldn't have had the bye because of Steele and Hoagie, but division is always nice to win. Guru got all of his points from 3 players. Quarterback Vic with 25, Wes Welker with 9, and kicker Bueller with 12. Panzers got 11 from his quarterback Rivers, 4 from running back Charles, 6 from kicker Baronis, and 8 from his tight end Gates. A couple 1s and 2s from the rest of his lineup, but just wasn't enough. We'll see if Panzers can get on track this week in the playoffs. Steel Brigade, Steel Brigade. Hey, there you go. Steel Brigade and Storm Curtain. Steel Curtain Storm Brigade was won by Steel Curtain 67-44. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's, as you can tell, it looks a little grainy and it looks to be fading in and out. I don't know what the wife did to the computer. Steel made sure to lock up the division the easy way, just winning. So with the victory over Storm, locked up the number 2 seed throughout the playoffs. And Steel's looking to get back to the big game to avenge the loss from last year. Big days from quarterback Aaron Rodgers to 24 points, Jacobs 16, wide receiver Jennings 16. Steel's gonna be a hard out in the playoffs. I like Steel's chances. Storm gave a good battle, got 18 points from quarterback Breeze, 10 from Meacham, and 8 from wide receiver Calvin Johnson. TNT versus Intimidators. TNT won 68-26, as I mentioned before. Again, it's a preview of this week's first round playoff game. TNT took it to the Intimidators 68-26, wrapped up that third seed and the Northeast Division. Points came from Peyton Manning with 19, Cedric Benson with 13, and wide receivers, Wayne got 14, Branch 8, and Crosby 10. Intimidators shit the bed this week as quarterback Orton was just horrible, brutal. 2 points is all that he got out of his quarterback, so that's just ridiculous. Only points of note came from running back Green Ellis, 14, and running back Lynch with 21. Oh, but yeah, wait, those were left on the Dater bench. So, Why Not Us versus Poor Pickens, a win for Why Not Us, 56-28. Why Not Us tuning up for the playoff run and his defense of the championship with a 56-28 victory over Poor Pickens. Big day from running back Peterson, who got him 22 points. Quarterback Kitna got him 12, and Jackson, running back, threw in 10. Meanwhile, Poor finished up poorly, no pun intended. Winning this game would have gotten him in the playoffs. Points of note, 10 from Cutler, 9 from running back Turner. And Hoagie's Heroes versus Cleveland Steamers. Hoagies took it 68-57. Hoagie locked up that #1 seed with the victory and most overall wins in the league with 10 with this victory over Steamers. Hoagie probably was sweating it out in the Monday night game as Brady put up 30 points for Steamers to make it interesting. But Steamers just weren't able to get it done. 10 other points from Forte for Steamers, 9 from Blount. Hoagie got 16 from his quarterback Ryan. Gutsy move, benching Roethlisberger, smart move, and playing Ryan. Got 15 from Foster. I'm sorry, 16 from running back Foster as well. 15 from Bradshaw, his running back, and 10 from kicker Akers. So Hoagie gets to sit back this week, relax, and enjoy his #1 seed and a bye. Silent Death and Fury. Silent Death took to him 62-21. Silent Death later hurting on Fury with a big 12-point day from his Cowboy D. 18 from quarterback Schaub and 16 from his running back Chris Ivory. Again, I had counted Silent Death out of the playoffs, but with his big 4-game winning streak, he put himself squarely in the mix for the playoffs. Just lost the tiebreaker in that coming out of your division. Tough luck for Eddie. Fury has not had one player this week score more than 8 points, so he locks up the #1 pick. And as I mentioned, we need to discuss. I really don't want to bring the lottery back. I really don't. But if we have to, it's the only way to sort of handle it. Then that's what it'll be. But I'm, hoping you guys. Well, I'm hoping a guy will put more of an effort into his team next year. So there you go. There is your TMQB for Week 13. Heading into playoff run Week 1 this week. Don't forget there's a game, Colts and Titans tomorrow nights. Both teams, well, maybe not so much the Titans anymore, right? The Colts have some players going for a couple of playoff teams, so make sure you get them in. And we'll talk to you next week. See ya.